and are now looking for that third in a row. Ariel Wilson will serve it up for Penn State in white, and the Longhorns in the burnt orange get on the board first. This championship match is best 3 of 5 sets. Each set to 25 points, have to win by 2. If we go to a 5th set, that one will be to 15. Fatima Balza gets set in the middle, and it ping-pongs around and out. Point Penn State. What makes this matchup so intriguing, Karch, is the fact that for the first time probably in 3 years, Penn State is looking across the net at a team that is just as big and as physical as they are.
Matches up at an average of the front row players of 6 feet 3 inches each.
Working on that net that is 7 feet 4 inches high. And the Longhorns pick up another point here to go up 2-1.
One of the things we really want to follow through this match is Megan Hodge, how effective she is offensively on one side of the net, Destiny Hooker on the other side. If they're both good, they could cancel each other out. It goes to some other factors.
Glass setting Blair Brown. Got a touch. Point Penn State.
And if they neutralize each other, certainly you got to think that Texas has 5 or 6 big guns. Penn State fewer, and they're going to have to be great. Megan Hodge, Blair Brown, and Ariel Wilson.
4 All-Americans on the Penn State side, including the server Megan Hodge, the National Player of the Year. There are 2 first-team All-Americans suiting up tonight for the Longhorns as Ashley Engel, who will hit and set tonight, gets the kill.
And even though she may not be as good a setter, she brings a lot of offense with that left hand. Had some physical problems, but they have just unleashed her in the semis and finals. Said go for it. These are the last 2 matches of the season.
Destiny Hooker, the 4-time All-American, gets the ace.
And remember, she jumps to touch about 3.5 feet above the net. I don't think Penn State's used to a jump spin serve coming down at them like that, falling so shallow. Perhaps
the best female athlete in college today. She is also an NCAA high jump champion. Blair Brown setting it out to the Big Ten Freshman of the Year, Darcy Dorton, for the kill. Point Penn State.
Dorton, on the other hand, while Megan Hodge plays all the way around, Dorton, number 1, putting that ball between blockers, is another unproven entity for Penn State. They'd love to get a lot of production out of her.
Tough serve from Dorico forces the overpass. Penn State in transition. The back set to 6'5" Blair Brown. She's stuffed. The other side to Dorton. Hopped up by Texas. Webster takes a swing off the block. And put away by Ariel Wilson.
One thing we've seen both teams do is try to establish a middle attack. Texas did it on the very first play. So did Penn State. There's one in transition to Wilson. Effective tapping it off the block.
Penn State has not been outblocked by an opponent this year. Texas just once in their 30 matches this season. Wilson through the block. Point Nittany Lions.
And this is something Wilson, number 7, does so well for Penn State, is transition from blocking, sprinting off the net, and then getting right back up. Hodge making the defensive play to start the effort.
She will set a new single-season hitting percentage record this year in NCAA play at over .550 as Texas misses wide.
Yep, that's number 18, Amber Roberson, who doesn't receive a lot of attempts out there, but again, Texas wanting to get everybody involved in the offense.
A 4-0 run on the Dorico serve. She has been lights out throughout this NCAA tournament back there. Hodge, back row attack. Kept alive by Michelle Coker. Hodge, Glass, Brown.
Dorico passing that ball too low and too close.
Now a chance for Texas. Hooker out of the back. Point Texas.
Hooker in some ways more dangerous in the back row than in the front, because often she just gets one block up. See how the only one left is number 7, Ariel Wilson, having to block one-on-one. Her blocker to the left side blocker, Darcy Dorton, bailed on the play. Needs to help out on that. Watch it to Hooker again.
Tries to tip it by the block and does so. Off of Brown down.
And this is why Hooker has been left in all the way around this season for Texas. She hasn't often played back row, but they want her to play some defense and, more importantly, hit out of the back row. Got 2 straight kills now.
Wilson missed it. Point Texas. The Longhorns back on top.
That time, Alicia Glass really forcing the offense. That was not an ideal pass on which to try to get it to her quick hitter.
Service error for Texas. Point for Penn State. It's been an extraordinary run throughout this winning streak. The last 2 years, they have only dropped 8 sets. The entire way. They lost the opening set 2 nights ago in the semis, but they have just been so dominant over the course of this run.
They were trying to do something only 2 teams had ever done, go undefeated, win every set of every match through the NCAAs. That record, not possible now, but they certainly have the bigger one, 3 in a row, possible.
Dorton regroups, and that's blocked. Rachel Adams alongside Julianne Fawcett. Texas up a couple with Ashley Engel, the senior from Yorba Linda, California. This group of seniors is the most successful they've ever had at Texas. And Engel with the tough serve, and Adams pounds it down.
Penn State normally having the advantage as the better passing team, but now 2 overpasses and an ace. Clearly, Texas serving better, Penn State not handling that serve, and that explains the 2-point difference here.
Service error gets Penn State the point. Now Kathy Quilico, the junior from California, is on. 5 feet 1 inch tall. And she serves it up tough.
And that's exactly what Penn State wants to do. If you look at the Texas passers, they start pretty shallow. So what Penn State wants to do is hit them high at the shoulders, push them back. Somebody like Fawcett there, and in this case, Destiny Hooker pushing her back.
The back set off the block. DeRico got it. Now Brown back row. Trying to roll it over the top. Pushing it out wide. Fawcett is long. Point Penn State. They are scoring thanks to the serving game of their 2 shortest players on the floor. The 5'4" DeRico and the 5'1" Quilico.
Again, pushing Fawcett back, and she's serving perfectly to Penn State strategy. Right in the corner. Now, watch, Penn State has stepped up and out of the passing formation. So now we have a new passer, Roberson, in there, but they get the change, and the libero passed the ball.
Megan Hodge with her first attempt, dug up by Hooker. Fawcett rolls. And the miscue. We've seen some trouble throughout this tournament between Glass and Wilson sliding behind.
In the last 3 matches, starting in the regional finals last weekend in Florida, especially when Wilson is going behind and Blair Brown going behind, Penn State's going to need to clean that connection up.
Yogi on to serve. Glass goes right back to Wilson. Couldn't put it away. Hooker. Now to Hodge. The block able to slow it up. Fawcett with the rip. Point Texas.
This is another thing Penn State wanted. They actually want Megan Hodge blocking directly across the net from number 1 on your screen there, Julianne Fawcett. Fawcett winning that battle on that particular play.
Hodge tried to tip. Point Texas. They're up by a couple.
Trying to get way too tricky there. She's got a pretty good matchup, especially down the line on Julianne Fawcett, better than in the middle. Take a swing at the high hands.
Blair Brown back row. Fawcett looking for Hooker, launches it long.
Both teams playing with a little bit of nerves right now. Some uncharacteristic errors, like Hodge, national player of the year, tipping into the net. Like Hooker hitting 5 feet out, long out of bounds.
Hooker with a couple of kills. Megan Hodge yet to register one. Kelsey Ream on to serve. Back to Hooker. Ream got it. Almost a collision between the Penn State players. Hodge blocked. And Alicia Glass collided with Blair Brown, and she was hurt on the play. The St. Pete Times Forum in Tampa for the national championship match midway through set number 1. Beck Mullins along with Kartskirai. Penn State in white, undefeated on the season. They have been victorious in 101 matches in a row. Texas looking to end the streak. They are in the burnt orange. They have been number 2 right behind the Nittany Lions all year long. Point for Penn State. They are looking to become the first team in history to win 3 straight, 2 of those back-to-back unbeatens. They have the longest winning streak in NCAA women's athletics history. That's Fawcett slams that one home. The Longhorns looking for their first championship since 1988, and their first time into the finals since 1995. This was a matchup that a lot of volleyball fans were expecting a year ago, but this Texas Longhorns team was upset in the semifinals. From that moment, they have been preparing and thinking about this night and another shot at Penn State.
And if Texas didn't expect this matchup, they were sure hoping for it, so they got it a year later than they wanted to. Would love to break that 101 match winning streak and stop history from happening. The first team ever to win 3 straight titles.
It is almost twice as long as the former longest win streak in volleyball history, and it is the best we've ever seen in women's college athletics, better than the Carolina soccer dynasty, Stanford tennis, and the most impressive on the basketball side, UConn, winners of 70 in a row.
And the thing that really impresses me is that recruiting is more competitive than ever. This sport is now national. It started with Texas in 1988, becoming the first non-Pacific team to win a title. So in this hyper-competitive era, to win 3 in a row is absolutely amazing.
And a reason for the success of both these programs, an incredible senior class. They're the winningest for their programs, respectively, led by Megan Hodge and Destiny Hooker.
141 wins for this senior class, and Megan Hodge has been a 4-time All-American for Penn State. Most outstanding player of the last 2 years, Destiny Hooker, whose volleyball progress has been amazing considering she has not been able to play in the spring times because she competes in another sport as an NCAA indoor and outdoor high jumper, having won several titles. But still, her game has come along to the point where she can be a 6th rotation player. That's a player who can stay in the back row. They need her for that offense. She's almost better out of the back row, hitting, that is, having to jump behind that 10-foot line than she is from the front.
They are friends off the court, rivals on it. They communicate frequently, but we talked to the players this week and they said, we stopped all communication leading up to the championship match.
At least until last night at the All-American banquet when alphabetically Hodge was right next to Hooker and they were having a great time and laughing it up as they both earned a well-deserved first-team All-American.
Hodge won National Player of the Year, and you've got to figure Hooker was a very close second. We are in the midst of set number 1. It's best 3 of 5. Sets her to 25, have to win by 2.
And we saw Hooker break out that hard jump spin. Penn State's going to have to be careful that she can hit it down on the ball as high as she jumps. Like that.
Alicia Glass looking to set Blair Brown.
Very tentative swing by Brown there.
These are also the 2 biggest teams in the country. Average height of 6'3".
Yeah, and Dorico has twice now tried to dig the ball too perfectly. You cannot, with the height of this Texas team, put it 6 inches across the net. You're much better keeping it 10 feet on your side.
For those of you new to volleyball, the player with the different colored jersey is a defensive specialist. They can serve, but they cannot attack.
And that time we saw Darcy Dorton, number 1, the freshman outside opposite Megan Hodge, not being able to control that serve. She only passes when she's in the front row. Back row, she also comes out.
Hooker off the tape. Glass looking for Brown.
Watch out for Hooker.
Here she comes. Out of the back. Dug up by Glass.
Not a great set to Hodge. Could go right back to Hooker.
Instead, it's Roberson, Dorton, The Texas block has been very strong so far. Coker looking for angle, tried to tip. Hodge, Glass, Dorton, no.
Hooker was calling for it.
Long on the swing from Roberson, point Penn State.
That's Roberson's second or third error. She, again, very inexperienced in these situations. When you have a player like Hooker calling for it, I think as a setter, you want to give her those opportunities.
Derrico, tremendous setter. Net violation of Penn State. And here's a look at Russ Rose, who in the national semifinals picked up his 1,000th career win. That is the third most all time.
And he's questioning the referee. The referee's actually called double net for a play over. They said two players, one for each team, netted at the exact same time. So Derrico gets to go back to the line. She didn't hit that last one very hard, but we saw her come out on fire against Cal a week ago in the regional final. Let's see if she puts a little more mustard on this one.
Alyssa Derrico, the junior from Byron, New York, had 5 aces in that Cal match in the regional semi. She's got the most on the Penn State team.
Well, she goes to the jump float and gets a better result.
On the point replay from just a moment ago, Glass to Dorton got the kill.
This time Dorton getting a nice step close and hitting it inside the block. That would, every kill she gets is really gravy. The main three for Penn State. Megan Hodge, Ariel Wilson, and Blair Brown have been carrying the offensive load.
Angle gets the kill for Coach Jarrett Elliott in his 9th season, his first time in the title match. Brought in that terrific senior class, called Ashley Engel a real program changer when she arrived with Destiny Hooker and their libero, Heather Kistner.
She was talking about what a relentless recruiter he was with her, trying to lure her away from Southern California and really help that program get going.
Wilson gets the stuff, and we are deadlocked at 19.
And that time what Ariel Wilson did was she just decided, I'm going to stop the quick. I'm going to take myself out of the play. We call that commit blocking. Let's see if she goes again. Nope, she doesn't. Gets a 2-person block up. Another very tentative shot from Blair Brown. Not getting good swings so far.
The pass now to Glass. Wilson, nothing tentative about that. And Penn State jumps on top.
Watch how fast Wilson is, getting off to the 10-foot line and then back up and swinging.
Third kill for Wilson. Penn State by 1 in the first. In Happy Valley, they speak of a dynasty and a win streak over the century mark. They marvel at the history, close to a 3rd straight championship. And they write about the legacy of volleyball's most successful duo ever, singing its swan song tonight. In Austin, they consider the possibility of knocking the Lions off the mountaintop. They fight with intensity for a championship to call their own. They pursue a destiny of a dream deferred but not denied. The top 2 teams in a trophy tonight in Tampa. The NCAA Women's Volleyball National Championship is presented on ESPN by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Penn State 20, Texas 19. We're going to 25 after win by 2 in the opening set of our final. Undefeated Penn State, once beaten Texas. They've been the top 2 teams all year long. This is Ashley Engel. Hodge with the pass to Glass and able to push it off the block. Penn State now up 21-19.
Glass is so effective with that right hand. If there's a blocker in front of her, she just hits it off the hands out of bounds. And if there's not, she pushes it to the deep corner.
4 straight points for the Nittany Lions. The back set to Engel. Sent back. Penn State, the top gets another point.
Well, the play didn't start the way they wanted it to. They do not want any serves going at Kistner, number 19 on your screen there in the black, the different colored jersey. They want to keep it on other players who are not nearly as good controlling the serve, but they still get the block.
The Nittany Lions on top, led by their senior All-American and National Player of the Year. Let's get to know Megan Hodge.
Hi, my name is Megan Hodge, senior outside hitter from Penn State. This is my third appearance in the NCAA semifinals. My two favorite TV shows are True Blood and Glee. Over the holidays, I'm going to Las Vegas to celebrate the Widget and Miss Ariel's 21st birthdays. My favorite place to visit is Brazil. Last time I was there was in May 2009 with my Penn State teammates.
Hodge, the 6'3" senior from Durham, North Carolina, the daughter of two volleyball players. She used to track them around and spend an awful lot of time in the gym, and had a chance to talk with her dad before the match. There's Michael and Carmen. He said until about the age of 12, her favorite saying was, "I'm never going to be playing volleyball like you two do." And into the teen years, she said, "You know what, I think it's time to give this a try." And boy, are they happy that she decided to do that at Penn State.
Her coach says she does more things that he's never seen any other player do in 31 years of coaching. An absolutely phenomenal talent who has a very bright future ahead of her playing for the USA team, maybe the Olympics in London, and certainly professionally overseas.
He was fondly recalling with tears in his eyes before the match that first day in an August afternoon 4 years ago when he dropped his daughter off on campus. Said, we were driving across campus and she spotted some of her teammates walking, and he said, "Dad, stop the van, I want to get out." He had to unload everything in the room. She wanted to go hang out with her teammates.
Nobody wants to hang out with mom and dad. Like, get away. I want to be with my teammates. Remember, it's been a 7-1 run since Texas did not serve or set Destiny Hooker out of the back row that one time. Oh, easy play for Blair Brown, just missed it. Now 7-2 run. But Texas really needs to get the ball to Destiny Hooker a lot, especially when she's in the back row.
Hooker 2 kills on 9 attempts so far in this first set. She and Hodge have been quiet in the kill category.
Very quiet, only 3 between them. Hodge right now hitting negative, and Hooker hitting only 125. Both of those players hit close to 400 this year. That's why they were the leading candidates for National Player of the Year.
Engel serves. Glass going to Wilson. Kept alive by Roberson.
Hooker.
The tip out of the back, got it.
And if you saw that time, number 7 for Penn State in the white, Ariel Wilson was not blocking and did nothing on defense. She has to pull off the net. She just left space, and that left the tip open for Destiny Hooker.
So Texas rattles off a couple in a row. They are back within 1. This is a team that was so heartbroken last year in the national semis. They were beating Stanford 2-0 and ended up dropping 3 straight, lost. And the preparation has been going on ever since that night in Omaha to get back here. And one of the visuals that Jared Elliott decided to use was to go break out the boxing gloves. He showed them the movie about Muhammad Ali, When We Were Kings, when he was an underdog in a fight against George Foreman. And he said, this is the kind of confidence, the kind of belief that you have in this team that Muhammad Ali had preparing for his fight.
And it's interesting because this team was almost undefeated, and yet they're taking the bunker mentality, the embattled, the team that's not getting any respect. A couple of more points against Iowa State earlier this season, and they too would be undefeated. But they have taken on that mentality since losing to Stanford from that 2-0 lead last year in the national semifinals.
And they also have, you saw there, the Hunter Lawrence jersey. He is the field goal kicker that got Texas a second chance with 1 second remaining in that Big 12 championship. That kept their title hopes alive. And Jared Elliott got the jersey from Mac Brown and brought it into the locker room and said, hey, a second chance for Texas. They took advantage. We need to do the same with our second chance this year.
And in fact, as that football game was going on, Elliott sent a text to a few of his players saying, look, this is going to be a defining moment for him, and that's the moment we want to be in. They are now in that moment, and there's a jump serve to pull Texas even from Ashley Engel, who does not hit her serve that hard. Had some physical problems this year, but she's figuring this is the last match of her career. She's going to break it out. Almost another ace.
3 points in a row for Texas. Hodge out of the back, rejected. The Longhorns 2 points away from the set.
Smart by the Longhorns to get 3 players up on that and slow Hodge down.
So Penn State trying to figure out how to stop the 4-0 run for Texas. And the Longhorn Athletic Department, such a close-knit group. We told you about Mac Brown and Hunter Lawrence in that Big 12 championship. And there is the kick with a second left on the clock, down by a couple. And the Longhorns win it. They will be playing January 7th on ABC in the BCS championship game against Alabama. And Mac Brown has actually been conversing back and forth with Coach Elliott. Here's the text he sent to Jarrett to share with the team yesterday.
And it's not that much of a David versus Goliath, these two teams being so head and shoulders. This is the match that all of the college volleyball world has been waiting for. But one of the nice things about Mac Brown is how supportive he is of other teams in his athletic department. He even sat down with one of Jared Elliott's recruits for 40 minutes one-on-one a year or so ago. He gives them a lot of time, helps them out.
And these are all the teams currently playing right now. Men's basketball, they knocked off the defending champs earlier today, beat North Carolina. Women's hoops is in the top 25, and their swimming and diving teams are both in the top 5 in the country. So it's a good time for Longhorn fans right now. And it'd be even better if they can grab this opening set. They're up 23-22.
Some big momentum swings. We had the 7-2 for Penn State, now the 4-0 scoring run for Texas.
We understand, too, some of the football coaches at Penn State have made the trip over from Orlando. They are in bowl preparations as well. Hooker, back row.
Coach Elliott really jumping up off the bench that time. Felt like it was a mishandled ball, but Destiny Hooker getting that first set point now for Texas.
They've got 2 of them right here. 5-0 run on the serve of Ashley Engel. Dorton, the freshman, no. Engel, the tip rolls. Hodge, back row off speed. No. Outstanding defense from Kistner. And Hooker ends the first set. The 2 seniors getting together. The 3rd senior serving it up. A 6-0 run to take the opener.
Destiny Hooker devastating from the back row. Penn State is going to have to get 3 blockers up. Too often that first set, they left the middle blocker all alone to stop her.
The 2-time defending champs are down a set in the national championship match.
We are the Texas Longhorns.
We won our only title in 1988.
I was born that year.
We have won 10 straight matches.
This is our second consecutive semifinal appearance.
We've been here before, but this year,
We're determined to win it all.
Hook 'em horns.
Hook 'em horns.